This activity must be performed by the owner of the Azure App Service. Microsoft does not have access to perform such activities on your behalf. To capture a .NET profiler trace based on a hung request, navigate to the Diagnose and Solve Problems blade for the Azure App Service exhibiting this behavior. Select the Diagnostic Tools tile. Select the Collect .NET Profiler Trace menu item. The Azure App Service must be on Standard, Premium, or Isolated SKU in order to collect a .NET Profiler trace. Additionally, Always On must be enabled. It is not recommended to make changes to a production system during primary business hours because changes like changing the SKU and enabling Always On will have performance and availability impact on your users and customer. Consider making any changes outside of your prime usage hours. Also consider the size of your selected workers. If you are running your workload on a 1 CPU virtual machine, then your first course of action would be to scale to a larger size of at least 2 CPUs. Again, do this outside of prime business hours as it will cause a disruption. The extent of disruption is dependent on your application dependencies. The loading of the Collect a Profiler trace takes a moment to load, so please be patient. Take the opportunity to read over the What You Should Know Before Collecting a Profiler Trace bullet points. Select the mode which is most relevant to your requirements. Collect and analyze data or collect data only. Select the instance on which you want to collect the trace on. If you have multiple instances, consider isolating one of your workers using ARR affinity if possible. Otherwise, select all the instances to capture your trace. Leave Add Thread Report enabled, as the output can be useful in determining the cause. Select the Profiler Trace button. Once the profiler trace has started, reproduce the issue. Remember that the issue must be reproduced within 60 seconds. After 60 seconds, the profiler stops. Once the profiler has stopped, analysis begins if selected to do so. Click the link to the .NET Profiler trace in the data column to download the trace for local analysis. Capturing a .NET trace is the same for both in-process and out-of-process hosting models. However, the analysis is slightly different, which is the reason for separate videos. The process hosting model is an important and often overlooked aspect of debugging, and it's worthwhile to call this out as often as possible for visibility. View this video, which will explain how to analyze the report and trace file using PerfView. A link to the analysis video is provided in the description below, as is a blog covering the .NET Profiler trace on Azure App Service.